Welcome to this special edition of Global Business on CGTN. Our focus, China's biggest political and legislative event. Hello everyone, I'm Asiye Namdar in Washington. Coming up on the program, China's top diplomat addresses the media in Beijing, highlights from his news conference on the sidelines of the two sessions. Plus the likelihood of China meeting its 5% growth target and high-quality development, China's push towards artificial intelligence. And we begin with China's biggest political and legislative event underway in Beijing. Thousands of lawmakers and political advisors are there. It's a closely watched tradition in the press. It's the press briefing, rather, by the foreign minister, China's foreign minister Wang Yi, who has laid out Beijing's diplomatic priorities for the year. CGTN's Wang Fei reports.
Well, we heard extensive comments on topics ranging from China-U.S. relations, regional security, the global south, and so on. But Mr. Wang starts with laying out China's role on the diplomatic front. He says that China will stand on the right side of history and promote human progress, seeking strength through unity. He also highlighted some achievements in China's head of state diplomacy. Here's more on what he said.
The year 2025 is important for both China and the world. There will be new highlights in China's head of state diplomacy. Last month, President Xi attended the opening ceremony of the Asian Winter Games, marking the beginning of the diplomatic events that China will host this year. We will solemnly commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Chinese People's War of resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War, and hold a series of major events, including the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. President Xi is expected to make a number of overseas visits. Head of state diplomacy will write a new chapter of closer cooperation and shared success between China and the world.
Yes, there were many questions about the U.S., especially a mention of Washington's pretext for the trade war, which is that China is playing a role on the fentanyl crisis. On that, Mr. Wang responded by saying that China actually has some of the toughest anti-narcotics measures in the world, and it's helping the U.S. curb the illegal drug on humanitarian grounds, and the U.S. cannot return good with evil. And he says that China-U.S. relations should be based on reciprocal cooperation. And he's happy to see that more countries are resonating with this idea, that the fact that three-quarters of the countries in the world have joined the Belt and Road Initiative, really supporting China's idea of building a community with a shared future for mankind. This year, China is also rotating president of the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Mr. Wang announced that the SCO summit will be held in Tianjin in the autumn, with around 100 events across different sectors to promote exchanges under this framework. China is, of course, also a member of the Global South. Mr. Wang fielded questions from Africa and Latin American nations, and he says that the hallmark of our era is the prominent and growing strength of the Global South, and because this area contributes to 80% of global growth, and he says that development remains the central agenda going forward. Of course, he also touched on China-EU relations, with the two sides celebrating 50 years of diplomatic ties this year. So wide-ranging questions, detailed answers, really giving us a clear picture of where China stands on the global stage.
CGTN's Wang Fei there. Now, part of the two sessions includes discussions around global economic and political relationships with China. For more on that, my colleague Anna Naidu, the host of our daily talk show, The Heat, spoke to a former Peruvian finance minister.
And the fact that we've been able to optimize and upgrade our free trade agreement with China recently opens new markets, in particular for non-traditional products. I think this is a process of working close together, our authorities, and this is key for sectors that are intensive, that are very labor intensive. we are looking towards new markets for our agro-industrial products, for instance, and go beyond the usual mining exports that we send to China. China is the recipient of most of our copper exports overseas, but I think it's good policy to diversify not only your markets, but also the products that you send to markets that are so important as the Chinese one. And part of this strategy of being close, Peru being close to Asia and to China in particular, is also upgrading our investments. An important port was inaugurated in Peru a few months ago, the port of Chancay, which has gathered global attention. And I think the potential for logistic costs reduction and for more trade between Peru and its neighbors with China and the rest of Asia is critical for growth story going forward.
Peru's former finance minister there. Now, earlier this week, Chinese Premier Li Qiang presented the much-anticipated government work report. In it, he said China remains committed to further opening up. Well, that's giving greater confidence to foreign-owned businesses in China. Here's a sampling of what they had to say.
China's commitment to expanding its opening up policy has bolstered global interactions and collaborations. Take standardization as an example. Here we see first that facilitating exchange and discussions on China energy-saving policies and standards with those of EU and other countries, and also secondly, providing high-level support for the promotion and application of green and efficient pump products. Both are very key to promoting the whole upgrading of the industry.
We are receiving positive signal in terms of indeed support to the investment we're going to do in the Greater Bay Area. We also see positive signal into the support to more modernization, moving from old houses to good houses. So we want to expand our operation in the south of China, in the Greater Bay Area. And we are planning indeed an investment there, which will allow us to be even faster and more responsive to our customers in that part of China, which is very important for us.
We have a 5-year plan where we want to grow the network more or less 5 times compared to where it is today. And this is something that we've been reviewing with the shareholder by the end of the year and early this year. So it is, we have a glide path and we are securing the investment to be able to grow our footprint, invest with the consumer in China. So that's something that we'll do anyway.
For more insight into China's 2 sessions, Mike Walters spoke to William Lee, chief economist at the Milken Institute. First, he talks about the feasibility of China achieving its latest economic growth target.
It's going to be more challenging than ever before. Last year, China had a better economic environment globally. Trade was better. The European economies were doing better. But now, this year, they're going to find that the external sector, the exports, which has really helped China to grow so rapidly in the past, will not be as much of a help. And China's going to have to depend much more on domestic demand and boosting consumption.
So let's move on to that as a focus, because you mentioned it, the 2 sessions really focused on boosting domestic consumption. What policy measures do you think they can put in place that might be effective in encouraging consumer spending in China?
Well, President Xi has really emphasized a whole wide range of policies. The things that struck me the most as probably the most effective are the ideas of encouraging people to trade in their consumer durables like cars, refrigerators, and even smartphones to be able to get new versions of the devices. Getting people to spend is really the hardest thing right now because people are worried that their wealth is going down, their jobs are less secure. But I think President Xi has got the right idea to try to build more confidence into each Chinese consumer, and at the same time emphasizing that their wages are going to be improving because the new technologies and a lot of policies that are being put in place are designed to raise their productivity, and that is going to go a long way to helping China have higher incomes and much more consumption in the future.
And he also emphasized the integration of technological and industrial innovation, particularly in Jiangsu province. When it comes to China innovation, it's been top of mind in recent years. How do you see this focus on innovation influencing China's overall economic trajectory in 2025?
Jiangsu province has been famous around the world. Even we in the United States know very well that that's the core of China's technological innovation and research and development. And it's going to be not only research development in general, but toward the advanced sectors like artificial intelligence. That alone is going to be the biggest boost to productivity if China can implement the kind of innovations that they've displayed this year. Getting each worker to be more productive is so important now that China's population has slowed. And I think Jiangsu province and all of the tech centers that President Xi has put around the country, Chengdu and Shenzhen, are places where we're going to be expecting to see quite a lot of new products, new processes, and more importantly, new ways of managing people so that every person at every level of education can be more productive.
There was a lot of talk about kind of easing some of the barriers for foreign investment coming into China. And they're still looking at further reform, more opening up. What new opportunities or challenges might foreign businesses face when they want to engage in the China market?
Well, Mike, when I talk to American investors and European investors, the one thing that comes to mind in every conversation is it's much harder to do due diligence in China now than it was before. And I think the Chinese authorities have to look deeply into allowing foreign investors to come to China, look around and find where the best innovations are. Investors know what they're looking for if they are given the information. And I think the access to information about where the innovations are and enabling them to do due diligence, it will be the key to increasing the flow of money coming into China and allowing the flow of money to come out of China as well.
William Lee speaking to Mike Walter. Well, plenty more ahead on this special edition of Global Business. A closer look at China's push towards high-quality development. Our focus, artificial intelligence.
Holding guns. Words protesters. Were you worried about your life at that particular time? Not at all.
Excellency, thank you very much for your time. What is your assessment of the state of the continent today?
Africa has the potential to power itself.
Excuse me.
Facing the unknown is always difficult. In a world in turmoil, it's easy to lose orientation. But when the storms come, we have to see the possibilities, reinvent, find new opportunities, discover a path forward. CGTN, see the difference.
China is planning to launch a Sci and Technology Board in its bond market later this year. The announcement was made by the governor of China's central bank. He says the goal is to help financial institutions and other firms to issue bonds that support scientific and technological innovation. In addition, the central bank would double the size of its lending program for science and technology to the tune of about $138 billion. Any conversation about technology and the future, of course, includes artificial intelligence. More businesses in China are integrating large AI models to boost productivity. Enhancing AI capabilities and infrastructure have become a key priority. Wang Fei spoke to Mila Wei, Senior Vice President of telecom giant ZTE.
AI is reshaping the global economy, and China has made major strides in boosting computing efficiency and cutting costs. The success of DeepSeek is testament to China's strength in AI innovation. We've advanced the core technologies like chip design and algorithm optimization, while improving efficiency through cloud and edge computing. These breakthroughs lower AI adoption barriers and offer new pathways for global AI development.
Studies show that 1 yuan invested in computing power can generate 3 to 4 yuan in GDP. How critical is computing power to China's future economic growth?
Computing power is vital to digital transformation across industries, including smart manufacturing, smart cities, fintech, and healthcare. Some applications are less visible but already have a huge impact. For example, computing power enables large-scale medical imaging analysis and gene sequencing. This helps doctors make more accurate diagnoses and personalize the treatment plans. This year, I recommend promoting the application of AI in health technology assessment to improve the quality and efficiency of medical services, supporting the Healthy China initiative.
AI models are being applied in many industries, including manufacturing. But SMEs often lack the computing power or expertise to implement them. How can we make AI more accessible to smaller companies?
The implementation of large AI models in manufacturing is a crucial challenge we currently face. Overcoming the high costs and complexity of AI adoption is key. We can tackle it from 3 angles. First, expand computing infrastructure to boost supply and lower costs. Second, develop AI models tailored to specific industrial needs, lowering user barriers. Third, invest in talent development and technical training so businesses can better understand and apply AI.
For more insight into China's AI progress, let's turn to Rebecca Fannin. She's the founder and editor of Silicon Dragon Ventures. Welcome to the program, Rebecca. What do you think is behind the success, if you will, of China's rapid AI advancement?
It has to do with the huge talent base of engineers and the technology hubs, such as around Tsinghua University. It has to do with the incredible patents that are coming out of the leading universities. And China is ahead of the US right now on the number of patents and also on the research papers. Now, in terms of government support, China has a lot of government support for AI, for its AI startups and its AI tech titans as well. So a lot going on with tech titans of China.
And the development of China's AI truly instrumental, isn't it, in the country's economic transformation, even moving forward?
Well, it is, because this government investment policy affects industry, it affects healthcare, it affects smart cities, it affects education. This is really good for a highly urbanized population like China has, and also an aging population. So if you can get some of these AI applications into various fields, it can make them more efficient and more useful.
And what about in terms of a competitive edge with these Chinese AI companies? Let's talk about DeepSeek for a moment. Low cost, high performance. I mean, in terms of rivalry with OpenAI or Google DeepMind, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think everyone was surprised by DeepSeek. It kind of came out of nowhere suddenly and was the talk of the industry for several weeks. And now there are other DeepSeek rivals that have emerged. It doesn't take long for something innovative to happen and then many copiers. So DeepSeek won't be the only one out there. There are many others who are coming up that want to be just like DeepSeek from China and the US.
So Rebecca, in terms of bridging the digital divide with the global South, AI technology and progress can not just benefit China, but also these other regions in the global south.
Well, that's true. And the Chinese AI companies are moving into the global south, and their efficiency is very good for developing economies. They may not be able to afford the chips that OpenAI is using, but maybe they can afford the lower cost chips and that are still efficient. So the fact that China's AI companies are moving into developing economies in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America is a positive for global growth, I think.
Positive for global growth, Rebecca, but do you have perhaps concerns with the risks and challenges that AI progress comes with?
Well, I think there are a lot of views on that topic, and that many experts are concerned about the data privacy issues and the national security risk. We saw that AI companies were restricted from investment in the U.S. U.S. companies investing into China AI has been restricted because of national security reasons. So with AI, there's a lot of concern about data privacy issues. That's not going away. I think it will become more pronounced now. What regulations are in place, it's happening right now. So yeah, it's a field to watch for sure.
And what about lessons other countries can learn from China? And do you envision a scenario where you talked about regulation, that these countries, you know, rivals and allies can all work together when it comes to artificial intelligence? Or is it too good to be true?
Well, right now we have a splinter net developing between mainly China and the U.S. over innovation and superpowers. So I don't think AI is any different. It's the same thing. We've got a race going on. Right now, there are separate worlds developing their own technologies. Previously, there was more cooperation and collaboration, but right now we're in a race for tech supremacy, with China and the U.S. as the major players.
All right, we'll leave it there. Rebecca, thank you very much. And as we heard, China's AI development is not only benefiting China, but other countries as well. CGTN's Alistair Roberstock with more on that from Mexico City.
Umari, a Mexican company specializing in streamlining supply chains, linking product developers in Asia with Latin American manufacturers. Umari's chief technology officer, Taliesin Oppenheimer, says AI is an essential tool for tech startups like his.
Everything from standardized request for quotation documents to actual quotation documents to spec sheets, rating suppliers, ranking suppliers, sourcing suppliers. Pretty much all of like the sourcing and a good chunk of the product development work gets parsed through various AI agents.
AI is expected to contribute more than 5% to Latin American and Caribbean GDP by year 2030, around $500 billion. But that still lags behind more developed regions. International trade analyst Luis Rosano has been tracking the region's progress in AI.
You need to have the critical mass and the ecosystems that are very few places that you have it, like some places in Brazil, Mexico City, for example, but see, there is a massive opportunity for entrepreneurs to fix very simple Latin American problems in health, in education, so things that AI can empower. We still have a lot of work to do.
The US is pumping massive resources into the AI race, with $500 billion of investment announced in President Trump's Stargate project to fund AI infrastructure. Forbes magazine calls the world's top 50 artificial intelligence startups by venture capital valuation the AI 50. 39 of those 50 companies, nearly 80% of them, are based in the US, with most of them in Silicon Valley. At least half a dozen Chinese AI startups have achieved billion-dollar unicorn status. Known as China's AI tigers, Umari founder Andres Diaz says one of them, DeepSeek, is blazing its own trail.
Trump announced Project Stargate, and a week after that, China comes out with DeepSeek. and shows that you don't need 500 billion in infrastructure to create good AI.
Diaz says China's AI leap forward can serve as a model for Latin America.
If that shows in the way of Chinese companies investing in Mexico and doing talent training and technology transfer, that would allow for us to be able to learn from what they've done so well, which is the development of AI without massive investments in infrastructure.
Alistair Baverstock, CGTN, Mexico City.
And finally, Chinese AI is also being used to bridge language barriers and for promoting cultural exchanges. CGTN's Daniel Arab Moy meets a young Chinese woman who's using the power of AI to create viral multilingual videos.
This soap is very popular in Africa.
Meet Fu Jiangyan, an entrepreneur operating in China's Yiwu International Trade Market. Fu Jiangyan is turning heads with her innovative approach to selling socks. She uses DeepSeek, an AI platform known for its ability to generate multilingual content, as a secret marketing weapon.
帮我写一段15秒以内的 I want to have more and more customers from all the countries, and so I need to change to 36 different languages. So maybe I will get more customers.
She takes me through step by step on how she creates her viral AI video content using DeepSeek. I was curious, so I decided to create one for myself selling her socks. And within minutes, my video was ready to be shared with my Russian-speaking customers.
Добро пожаловать на показ наших мужских носок Geofon. Эти носки мягкие и удобные. Свободный дизайн не будет сжимать. Существует множество моделей и мод.
Because of our AI-generated content, our sock store is thriving.
So every day, at least 15 customers ask me about my socks, and many people around all know me. I'm very happy, and also many medias know me, and they introduce to many people.
But Fu Jiangyan's success isn't just about numbers. Fu wears traditional clothing in her video recordings to show her pride in Chinese culture. Fu Jiangyan hopes her story will continue to inspire others to embrace technology and pursue their dreams. Daniel Arab Moy, CGTN, Yiwu, China.
And that's it for this special edition on Global Business. Thank you for watching. I'm Asiye Namdar in Washington.